Hey y'all, I'm still in this kitchen. Goodness. So I have everything out here right now to put together my hash brown casserole, my macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna just run through this real quick and then I'm gonna get all this up and we're gonna check out our ham. It's done, it's smelling so good, and I can't wait to get a taste of it. I know I've went through these things before, but I still get people that ask, and I get it. I don't mind people asking me. I know that not everybody sees every video. That's understandable, and I get it. So real quick, we're going to get our macaroni and cheese going. I've already cooked the pasta, and I'm just going to turn this on. This is my same pot here. I know this is a long ways away, but I got all this in the way. I saved out a little bit of my pasta water here. This is about a little bit over 1 cup. We're not going to use nowhere near this much. This is just how much I got. I'm thinking I'm going to put in about half a cup. Okay. And then right here I have, now I know I love to use Velveeta. That's just my favorite. I'm not one of those that does the flour, the mustard, the egg, and all that in their macaroni and cheese. I like just a creamy, milky, cheesy macaroni and cheese. And I like those kinds of macaroni and cheese, but I just don't make them. I feel like they taste totally different. And I'm not hating on it if you make them. I've eaten some that are delicious. That's just not the way I make it. So I have 12 ounces of Velveeta here. If you get the 32 ounce box, this is a little bit under half. Okay. So if you were to do half of that box, it'd be about 16 ounces because it's a 32 ounce box. So 12 ounces and then a whole stick of butter. Yes, whole stick, y'all. This is not something we make every day. We're cooking for the holidays, so we're not holding back, okay? If I'm going to make macaroni and cheese, I'm going to make it right. Isn't that right, y'all? Okay, so I'm going to put this down in this good warm pasta water. Try not to let it splash everywhere. I like to get all of this good and melted, and I like to get all that out and slice it up. Well, that didn't want to come out. Slice it up and let it sit out on the counter for a bit. Hang on just a second. That got all up under my fingernails. Hold on. Okay, y'all. So what I was saying, if you get things out and get it up to room temperature, it's going to melt, cook, do whatever it needs to do a lot quicker if you just get it straight out of the fridge. So here you can see we just have some pasta water, some cheese, some butter. It does not look that appetizing, but we're going to make it delicious. And I'm just going to let this sit here and hang out and start melting down on a low temperature. In the meantime, we are going to throw together our hash brown casserole. It's not going to take us but just a second. I'm doing it a little bit different tonight. I'm not going to put the onions in it because Braden does not love onions, so we're going to leave that part out. I have 1 stick of melted butter here, which is half a cup. I'm going to toss that in. Let's see, I got all of it, yeah. I am going to do 1 16-ounce container of sour cream. You know, and this is just the basic hash brown casserole. There's nothing fancy or different about this. This is just the traditional hash brown casserole way. I have made it different ways. I have done it where you do like the cornflakes and melted butter on top. And y'all tell me if you've ever done it that way. Actually, when I first started making hash brown casserole, that's the way that I did it. I've done that. I've put bacon on top. I mean, I've done a little bit of all of it with these dishes, y'all. All right, 16 ounces of sour cream. Now we are going to do a 10.5 ounce can of cream of chicken. I love this brand simply because it has that little pop top. I wish all of them had that. I love that. It makes it so much easier. Put that in there. And y'all, my hash browns that I am using tonight are not the frozen ones. Normally I get the frozen ones, but whenever I did my order to get all of this stuff, they were out of the the size that I normally get. They had like the, you know, like the ones that are more like in the chunks. They had those, and I've used those, but I would rather have these. And then they had like a huge bag, and I thought I will never use all those. So what I ended up getting, let me show y'all, are these Simply Potato kind. And these come in, what was it, 20 ounce bags, and I only needed about 32. So I did 1 bag and a half. And then we're gonna have to do something else with these in the next few days, y'all. So we'll figure out something. All right, we got that in there, and I'm gonna do just a little drizzle of milk, not much, just a little splash like that. Just help thin it out a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic powder. And if I was putting my onion in here, I would not do this. But since I'm not, I'm going to do some onion powder. Okay. And I thought, well, I'll do minced onion since I'm making this. And I don't want to do onions for Braden. But y'all look how much I have left. Just this much. So that's what I'm going to put in there. Just that little bit. But if I had more, I would put more. And of course, this is going to sit overnight. So those onions are going to get nice and soft, just like you would want them to do, and then they're going to cook, obviously. All right, and then I'm going to do some pepper. This is just all a preference, however much you think you want. And then a little bit of salt. Okay, and then we're going to do our cheese. And that is all there is to this hash brown casserole, y'all. Here's our cheese. You want to do anywhere from 2 to 2.5 cups. Let's see. That's at least 2 cups. That might be a little bit over 2 cups. I'm going to mix it, and I may just go ahead and add the rest of this in. 2 cups of shredded cheese is only going to be about 8 ounces, where 2 cups of liquid is going to be 16 ounces. You know, it's different. So just always keep that in mind. So that's why I just tell you two cups instead of saying the ounces, because sometimes you can get mixed up with it. But what I will do is I will just mix this up really good. Go ahead, put it in my pan. And then tomorrow, before I'm ready to cook this, I will sit it out on the counter for about, 45 minutes to an hour before I'm ready to cook it. And that way it can kind of slowly come up to room temperature a little bit. And then I'm going to cook it for a good 50 minutes to an hour. I would say most of the time I usually like to do it about 55 minutes or so, and then I like to turn things on broil and get the top nice and crispy. Okay, and this is just, you don't have to do nothing, no extras to your hash brown casserole. These are good just like this. These are perfect. Like I said, the only thing I'm doing different to mine tonight is leaving the onions out. Now, if I take it to a gathering where there's a lot of people eating, I usually will go ahead and put the onions in, and I will just get Braden some out to the side before I put the onions in. But tomorrow, I'm just going to do the whole thing the one way without the onions, okay? So that's it. And I have me a buttered, y'all know I still forgot to get my spray, so I'm still winging it. I put me some butter on just my little tin pan here. I'm going to get this put down in here. I'm going to give my cheese over here a mix, get my ham washed off, and I'll come back, y'all, and we will get on to checking out our ham. Okay, y'all, here is our hash brown casserole. You can see it's just in the pan. Now, tomorrow, after I sit it out and before I put it in the oven, now, I'll cover this tonight, but I will cook it uncovered, all right? I may sprinkle a little parsley, a little pepper over the top. Y'all know how I do. But here's our macaroni or not our macaroni and cheese, just our cheese getting ready for our macaroni. It's just turned into a good creamy cheese with that pasta water, the butter, and the cheese. Now what I'm going to do is add some milk to it, and quite a bit of milk. All right, y'all just bear with me. I add quite a bit. So y'all can see, I mean, that milk was almost full. I had quite a bit in there. That's what gives you your best macaroni and cheese. Take my word for it. It took me years to learn it, but once I did, I did. Okay, we'll stir that around, and then I'm fixing to get our macaroni and put in there, and then we're fixing to check our ham. Alright, I did 2 cups of dry pasta. You know, it's way more now, but it was 2 cups when it was dry, whenever I put it in my little pot here to cook, okay? And I don't do, y'all know I season a lot of my pasta and do a lot to it. The only thing I do to my macaroni is just rinse it with cool water to stop it from cooking. That's it. I don't do anything else to it. Okay, y'all see how we have all that good liquid in there? I'm just gonna let this sit here and hang out in that. I'll taste it here in a second, see if it needs, I'm gonna add some pepper and stuff like that, but for right now, I'm just gonna let it sit here in this while we check our ham, okay? I'm gonna pop the lid on it and just let it sit and hang out on a low temperature. And put the lid on this. We'll move this over here out of the way. All right, let's get our ham. I know that's what everybody's ready to see anyway. That's always the star of the show. So here it is. Oh, the only thing I've done to this ham since I last was on here with y'all was poked it with a fork, just trying to check the doneness. And like I said, this one cooked in about 7 hours. I think it was a smaller, more towards a, like I said, my price tag and all that came off that showed like the weight and the price of it and that sort of stuff. Let me get me out a little bowl here. But I think this was more towards the 8 pounds. So that's why I say you want to, you know, those last few hours, keep a check on it, because I turned this off at 7 hours. But y'all see how much liquid is in there? It's almost over the top of that ham. So here, this is what I'm going to do. And y'all see, this is that fat part. Let me get you up here a little closer so you can see. This is that fat part. So I'm going to take my fork. This is one I've already been picking in, if you wonder why it looks like that. And let's see, let's just go right here. This is how you want it to do. So I'm going to go right here in that meat. And I'm going to pull it out just like that. You see that? That's your pulled ham right there. It just pulls out just like that. Right there. But where you want to check it at to make sure that it's good and done is right up here around this bone, which I've already done. You can see my little fork marks. Just whenever it's cooking, stick your fork down in there right near that bone. Well, there's one. Where's it at? And then you just kind of pull it like this. If it easily pulls away from that bone, then you know it's done. So I'm going to show you right now. All right, so right here, that bone is right here. I'm right here beside it, so I'm going to stick my fork down in here. And you see this? There's your meat. It just pulls right off of it. I like to dip it down in that juice, because with this I'm getting out, I'm fixing to eat, y'all. I may make me a sandwich or whatever, but I'm fixing to eat it. But that's how you do, y'all. And this, oh shoot, my thing's saying low battery. Good thing is we're about done with this video. But, and so what I will do, y'all, I will just let this sit in this crock pot all night. I will put the lid, the tinfoil back over it, and I will just let it sit, and it will cool off. It'll take it all night to cool down, because it is extremely hot right now. And so then, and it's not going to spoil or hurt it. I've done this for years. I let it just sit there, cool down, and then in the morning, I will, it'll be cool, and I'll put me on some of my little rubber gloves, And I'll just come in here and I will just pull it apart. I'll get me one of those little tin pans. I will toss my my ham over in that. Once I get it all out, I will take that juice and strain it through something, you know, because you don't want all that fat. You want the fat in the liquid, but not like the pieces of fat. I will just strain that and pour that over that pulled ham. Then I will cover it with foil. And you can easily heat that up just within a few minutes. It's not going to dry out as long as you have that liquid on it. You want to make sure you've got that liquid. That is one of your best things about this ham. And that's it, y'all. Like, y'all see how easy that was? Like, I've not even touched this since I put it in the crock pot earlier, except for a little bit ago whenever I checked it to see the doneness. And like I said, when you stick your fork down in there around that bone, you want to be able to go like this and it pull off. If it doesn't, then you want to cook it a little bit longer. That don't mean it's not done. It's done way before that. But if you want pulled ham like this, then that's what you do. Okay, let's get us a little bite of this, y'all. It's just crazy steaming hot, but I mean, it is the best ham. I'm telling you, I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking with this here that I got out, I'm gonna make me a little sandwich with, because y'all, this ham makes the best sandwiches. I'm telling you what, delicious. You can do it on just white loaf bread. You can put it on a bun. You can do it however you want to do. Delicious. Or you can just eat it like this. It is so good, y'all. And I mean, you can't understand it until you have it. And then once you do, you'll say, oh my gosh, that is so good. It's salty. I'll go ahead and tell you it's salty. It is a salty ham. It's not a sweet ham. I know some people will do like a sweet glaze and put over theirs or whatever. That's fine. I don't turn any ham away, but this is my favorite. This is my boy's favorite. This is just the kind that we have always had. I love it. So good. Okay, y'all. Let's I'll show y'all this macaroni and cheese just real quick before we go. But you see how this is going to thicken up just a little bit. But I'm just going to let this hang out. Alright? And tomorrow, when I get this out and reheat it, it's still going to be just this thin. This is how you want it to be to have your good macaroni and cheese. Trust me. Trust me on this, okay? Okay, y'all. I have wore y'all out today with the videos and all the pictures and all the stuff, so thank y'all for hanging in there with me. It's just been a busy day in the kitchen. I think, you know, I thought about getting my green beans going, but I think I'm just going to wait till tomorrow. That's something easy. I'll do my green beans and my mashed potatoes tomorrow. And since I did the hash brown casserole, I won't make that many mashed potatoes, but that's Braden's favorite, so I can't do a dinner without the mashed potatoes. He wouldn't have it. So I'll try, and like I said, if I don't just get caught up and everything going on, I'll try to show y'all a glimpse tomorrow of what's going on and try to share Braden. I know y'all ain't seen him in so long. Like I said, little stinker, he hardly comes around, and when he does, he's in and out. Anyway, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.